All right, welcome everybody to D&D Civil War, A Realm Awakened, session number 13, The Uprising. Thank you all for being here and joining us for tonight's session. Very much appreciate each and every one of you that are here hanging out with us tonight. We're going to get into our recap and get this game underway. I have delayed things long enough with my technical issues, so we're going to get this going and make sure that our players are ready to go as well. Everybody good to go over here?
Yep, I believe so.
Yep. All right, cool. Well, let's have a discussion about what happened in the last session. So the last session, our adventuring party was way far away on a tiny little island where they were getting ready to go into a vast group of caverns to search out the Lost City. It's the gnomish city, kind of almost directly south of where they had started their campaign. Little island called Mizzletherm. And as they were searching and getting ready to head into the city of Vuneldar, one of the party members got a very odd sensation. Turned around, stepped outside of the caverns, and when they looked up to the sky, it looked as if the entire sky had been shattered. This prompted the entire party to step back and attempt to figure out how they wanted to proceed with the path going ahead. Kind of complicated things because they had just gotten here, and the individual that had brought them there, and a guy by the name of Sheris, was not too happy that the party pretty much wasted his time bringing him there for a 5-day break, only to bring them back to the city once again. However, as this is taking place back in the city, panic is kind of struck, and everybody is not really sure what to do. Right now it's supposed to be a big festival time, and they're supposed to be having a, nice organized celebration of the history of their city and the advancement of their people over time. And unfortunately for them, this shattering of the sky and roaming Warforged walking through the city kind of make things a little complicated. So as this is taking place, the representatives, a group called the 22, decided to gather everybody together and sit down for a council meeting to decide how they wanted to take on all of the challenges the city was facing. Unfortunately, our adventurers were not there, and it led to a bit of disruption within the council. Many not too happy that none of the members were there to kind of speak up to what was transpiring. As this continues to take place, we check back in on the other island as the party is getting ready to prepare to leave. At which point, unbeknownst to the rest of the party, but known to Vivian, a pact was made between her and a new patron. This patron, to most of the people in the Living Isles, the setting that we're in here, would know them as Tyrus, or Kai Gladomain, the individual who the entire celebration is based around his defeat. She takes up an agreement, a pact with him, to basically say, you have my unwavering loyalty if you pledge to teach me how to stay alive. This pact was extended with one stipulation: the Vivian travel back to the city of Kalido and track down a pyramid artifact that was being held within the museum in the city. As the party travels back, the discussions continue on with the 22, and many of the members just trying to get a grasp on what's going on. And we end up being introduced to 3 new party members that have joined our group. One of which representing House de Madani, or House Madani, which was Lisha Delphine. We had one that was being represented by Representative Sharnara, who used to be pretty high up within the Evan Spy Syndicate. This individual, and let's see if I can get it correct this time, Eraturum.
There you go.
Yeah. And joining House Caneth was a individual by the name of Desmond, who's one of his family members, had something, some major part of House Caneth, which brought him here. As the discussions continue on and things start to get a little bit heated up, the session starts to come to a close just about the time that our adventurers finally make their way back. And as they do, they sit down and discuss everything that has transpired, which draws a bit of attention from all 3 of our new members. They sit down and have a discussion, trying to figure out what they want to do and which path they want to take up next. The obvious choices, these Shattered Sky, which only one individual, Celeste Gladomain, was able to identify as a portal. That also left 2 other major incidences within the city. Number 1, the Warforged. Warforged, part of House Caneth, or at least some interaction with House Caneth and the Dock Ward, or the Selavash Ward as it's called here, had a big disruption throughout the city, almost shutting down several parts of it, unable to travel through. And the other, the Emerald Claw, which isn't really a concern to some people. At least if you were to ask the individuals from the Evan Company. They seem to think that this is all just rumors and hoaxes, but based on the information our party has gathered, and based on the information that House Madani has gathered, they don't want to let this slip by. So with these 3 paths that lie ahead, we currently look to our party, trying to figure out what path they are going to choose. So, party, how are you going to proceed?
What? Where are? Because maybe left before we all did before, so she's still assuming in or out just outside the museum.
What was that? I'm sorry, you were really quiet. I gotta turn you up here.
Sorry, it's alright. I'm saying the rest of the party, I'm assuming, is still inside the chambers or whatever, as Vivian left to go to the museum.
That's correct. That is correct. So you guys are still within the chamber ward, or the chambers of the 22. So we can drop you down into this here. Put the focus on you guys. You guys are still here having conversation with the very few remnants of individuals that were participating in this after council meeting. Vivian decided she was going to disappear and snake her way outside of the building and try to get into the museum and try to find the artifact, but wasn't able to get to it.
I plan on going back, but the front gate way.
So going back around and checking in through the front door, a couple knocks, and see if they'll let you in.
Yep.
All right. So before we get to that, the group upstairs, all gathered around. Queen Mariel's still there. Representative Shannara is still there, but pretty much everybody else at this point is starting to check out.
So we're all in agreement then that perhaps first order of business is to maybe look into the Warforged, as kind of strange to say this, but I've currently seen of a more imminent threat than whatever's going on up in the sky.
I believe that there is an issue with the marching Warforged, but personally, I believe that the Emerald Claw is a little bit more of a threat at the moment. They're actively trying to kill people as we speak.
The Queen looks over to Yulisha and says, well, I wouldn't say that they are actively killing people, but they are at least somewhat known or seen in the city.
From what Vivian, I motioned towards the door she left through, has told me that the Emerald Claw is behind the assassinations in the city.
Well, perhaps she has information that I do not, but we haven't been able to gather any links between them, well, except for the one meeting, I guess. Freddy, you were there. You said the assassin ran into the Emerald Claw's little hideout in the trade ward, right?
Yes.
Maybe there's something to that. I don't want to pin the assassinations on the Emerald Claw yet, but we can at least check it out. I assume you still know the way back, correct?
Of course.
Very well. Then we'll leave you to that. You at least have that path. I would start there if you're going to try to hunt down this Emerald Claw. Unfortunately, the assassins have been a little more slippery than we would like. Correct me if I'm wrong, you do also remember the location the assassins were at, correct?
I do.
Well, then you can at least look there as well. Couple options. Try to distinguish a difference between the two if at all possible. The Warforged, however, she kind of turns and leans a little bit, trying to look around Eratorum and look back towards Desmond. I assume you are going to assist them with this, yes?
I mean, sure, if you want. I don't think we should be, forgetting about the giant fucking rift in the sky, though. Pardon my language.
Oh, no, it's quite okay. I understand. It is a bit terrifying. Pretty intense.
You could say that, but sure, I'll help with the Warforged if we're doing that first.
Well, if you decide that you want to look into the giant fucking rift, as you so called it,
That's the one.
you will probably need this. And she reaches her hand out over towards Freddy and hands this medallion over to him. The medallion has the crest of the Undying Court on it. And she hands it to you, and as she does, says, in order for you to get into the city, the guards won't just let you pass. You're going to need this in order to get in.
Understood.
This, as soon as you take it in your hand, you kind of look over it, and you feel as if this grants you weight or power within the Undying Council. This isn't something that would be very easy to come by. This is something that is very treasured, because the Undying Council doesn't just let anybody within their walls. It's very, very much secluded from the rest of the entire city of Kalido, even though it's smack dab in the center of the city. I will send you a little bit of details about this specific item a little later, as you get to mess around with that a little bit. So handing this over to Freddie, she looks back over to the group and says, well, I suppose you, pointing back towards Desmond, you can help these 3 individuals, 4 if we can ever track down where Vivian is. Help them to try to understand exactly what these Dawsons are. I figure you have enough experience with the House Caneth magic. You can give us a little bit of insight as to what this is that they have created for the Warforged.
Well, I mean, relatively. So, before I spew out any incorrect information, this is the thing that makes them sentient?
No, the Dawsons are the things that give them... It's almost like giving them a magic item that makes them more powerful.
Right. Okay, and it's the little...
makes them into super max, more or less.
Pretty much. Like, in the case of these, the Dawsons that were given in this situation basically gives them an infinite boost of speed and just ungodly strength, because they're dock workers and they need to be able to offload a ship as quickly as possible.
Right. So, I will explain that they're the little... Didn't she hand us one? Or didn't he hand us one of the little things?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Erandis did have one, and he did hand you one of them.
So I'll take that from whoever's holding it, and I'll explain the magical properties of it. And
Actually,
just,
I thought
you
he
know,
took
give
that
a
back.
basic demonstration of where it goes, how it works. Is what I'll do.
Okay. Sorry, I was fixing something on my screen here. Yeah, so you begin to explain the background of these Dawsons, and I'll also fill in the party a little bit as to what a Dawson is. A Dawson is a very ancient artifact. When I say ancient, I mean thousands of years old ancient. At least the original ones were. House Caneth has stumbled across a bit of technology, and with House Loristana here in the city of Kalido have been able to come up with the ability to create Dawsons for Warforged. It's ironic that the Dawsons that were originally made actually help the Warforged now, because the Warforged are less than 100 years old. So these 1,000-year-old relics, or several thousand-year-old relics, magically fit within a Warforged and give them just undeniable power. In this situation, these, the ones that Desmond currently has within his hand, are created. They're all fabricated. They are made on a production line almost. A bit of technology and a bit of magic and understanding of how all of this works allowed House Cana to develop these and begin to send them out throughout the world. Not only did they use them here within the Living Isles, but they are spread all across the planet of Eberron as well. But only here have the Warforged react. In Eberron, they are doing their job. They are still doing everything they are supposed to. Questions begin to pop up if the Dawsons are the cause, but there's no evidence leading to that based on what they are seeing from the thousands upon thousands of Warforged in Eberron that aren't reacting like they are here. So, you have all of these paths ahead of you. Hand out the docent to everybody to take a look and try to figure out what you're going to do. And about that time, you hear the doors open wide as Vivian enters, returning from her little escapade, and rejoins the rest of the party.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, you're gone for a while.
I fell out a window.
Freddy just kind of gives her a quizzical look.
I was looking out the window and then I fell out. So I had to walk back in.
I'd like the insight check to be in.
Yeah,
How
you can
does
insight
one
check
just
that.
fall out a window? You get pushed or you jump.
Give me a deception check, Vivian.
Barely.
She sells it so well that even you begin to question if this is real or not. And then right at the last second, as she's trying to cover it up, no, I'm telling you, it's fine. I fell and I walked right through the front door. You're like, wait a second, hold on. This doesn't make sense.
Can't just walk through the front door.
So having Vivian back, Vivian rejoins the party, kind of oblivious to what's going on and the decisions that are being made. But now, it is your turn. Everybody here, where are we going?
What was I brought up? Probably currently rather lean toward investigating the Warforged a little further, but if you'd rather stick to the Emerald Claw, then that's fine.
If I may, judging from what House Caneth had said, I'm not convinced that they necessarily have anything to do with this. However, the Emerald Claw, as it were, could possibly be trying to use this as a distraction for whatever nefarious purposes they have themselves. That's just my input. I mean, we could investigate one while simultaneously investigating the other and see if they are one and the same.
I guess so. Not that I quite see how they're connected yet, but why not?
There's only one way to find out if they are connected or not.
Right then, back to the trade ward.
All right. So you gather all of your belongings and make your way out of Upper Toledo. As you make your way out of the doorway, what Vivian has seen, and you guys had seen when you first arrived, the rest of the party now sees hundreds of people gathered around the outside of the building, all attempting to figure out what's going on and how the city is planning to proceed with taking care of this problem. As the doors creak open, you see a couple of guards step forward and start pushing the people back and trying to clear a path so that you can get out. And they do. They're not really rambunctious or attempting to cause harm to anybody. But as they clear a path and you make your way out, you do notice a lot of people watching you. Especially people such as Freddy, who, as you walk out, these people are now a little familiar with you. You've been doing things throughout the city for a little while now. They're aware of who you are. Seeing you back here, and now with a group of new individuals, it's causing them to raise their eyebrow a little bit. As you walk by and make your way back over to the SLR and take it several stops to the northeast to make your way back over to the trade ward, things are relatively quiet. As you step onto the SLR, there aren't very many people on there, which is very unlike what you're used to. It's usually a very busy place, very active. It's like any other subway in, the real world. As you take the SLR to the northeast and you make your way to the trade ward, you find yourself once again in a very, very hectic and busy part of the city. Which of the two buildings would you like to go to?
What are the two options? We've got the one where they met, and
so they have the one where they had witnessed the assassin meeting with the Emerald Claw, and then they have one where they tracked the assassin to and was pretty much threatened with their life if they continued to proceed forward.
Go where the threats were made?
yeah.
Freddy will just nod, and then they make their way to.
All right. So heading over to the area where the threats were made. So we'll go here. And you over here. Find yourself standing outside of a very wide one-story sandstone building. Off to the south of it, an obvious shooting range for archers and abelisks to fire off crossbows. And as you're hanging out here and taking a look, it's just like Freddy and Vivian remember. The view inside of the building is impossible. You look into the windows, and it is nothing but pitch black darkness. The door at the front still remains closed. It doesn't look as if anybody's attempted to barge their way back within the city. Or within this building, I'm sorry.
Is the door locked?
You can go up and check it.
Yep, I'll go try to open it.
Okay. And as you walk up and place your hand onto the latch of it, press the thumb plate down, and you hear the sound of click as the door unlatches.
Open the door.
Okay. And you open the door once again to complete darkness. Even the light within, or from the outside of the building shining into it, dies as soon as it breaches the doorway.
Seeing that, I'm going to motion. Just going to put my hand in front of Freddy, push him back just a little bit. Then I'm going to... Can I see any kind of like pressure plate, tripwire, anything like that, like right inside the door?
Well, you are currently right over here, so you'll have to get up a little bit closer to be able to
like I'm gonna,
investigate.
I'm
So
gonna.
yeah, as you step
right
forward,
next
give me an investigation check. At disadvantage, please.
You got it.
Forge, didn't we enter from the back as well?
That
You
was a
did.
back door, I do
There is
remember.
a back door. You are correct. Eratorum, as you look forward, glancing around the door sill here, attempting to look past this dark fog that kind of covers the inside, you see nothing. No tripwires, no pressure plates, nothing that really stands out to you.
If I remember correctly, there is actually a cage on the inside of this. With which we're surrounded. There is a back door, which we can also go through. I don't believe that one is enchanted or trapped.
Give me a second, Vivian. I'm going to replace your token. There you go. You have the correct health now. So, what do you do?
Freddie will close the door and we can
I
head
look.
inside.
Vivian.
I was gonna tell the others I'm heading to the back door and to follow me if they want.
Okay. And Freddy?
Yeah, I was just going to follow.
I'll go with Vivian, for sure.
So,
I'm gonna go the other way around, up from the top and over.
Okay. As you begin to make your way to the north, you do see one window, kind of the middle of the building up here, that does have shutters, completely closed, latched, and even if you look between the cracks and crevices of the shutters, pitch black darkness.
I do want to
Okay.
say, as I left the front door, I closed it back. I didn't just leave it standing open.
Okay. Closing the door back, no problem. It closes right to. Anytime that you see me do that, I'm just moving the camera. I'm sorry if it moves your camera for you guys.
No,
I'm just doing it for stream.
So I'm gonna click my fingers and summon the Raven.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna make her do a loop around. Are there any open areas around this house, like anywhere that she can get in?
Maybe. Let me drop this. If it'll let me drop this. The servers have been really wonky. There we go. And then let me do this. Edit, and going to be in your journal, and can be edited by you, and can be edited by that. Fantastic. So there you are. You should now have control over the Raven.
Awesome. I do. Look at that.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna make her do just a once over and see if there is any like openings in the wood, or if there's like a shutter that she can just squeeze into.
Okay. Taking a look around, kind of flying somewhat low and making its way around the backside of the building, you do see the back shutter. There are 3 sets of them, kind of evenly spread out. One there, one towards the middle, and then one down towards this bottom or southern end of the building. The one in the middle, the left shutter is just kind of barely opened. The other one's closed. There doesn't appear to be a latch or anything on it.
Okay, so if she can make it in, I'll just move my eyes into her and I'll just make her pop inside and give me a rundown of what is in there.
Okay. So you make your way about over here and then head inside. Your eyes are complete darkness. You see nothing at all. You can't even reach your hand up, or the bird can't even reach its claw or talon up close enough to be able to see it. It's how dark it is within this chamber.
Grand. I'll just bounce her back and I'll go meet up with the rest of the group. Around the bottom.
Okay.
And I will just tell them it's complete darkness in there. You'll have a hard time finding anything unless anyone has anything they feel like throwing out there.
If I remember correctly, once you actually get inside.
Does dark vision not help at all?
That is correct. Dark vision does nothing.
This might seem a little imposing, but I mean, we gotta dispel magic, because I have a hard time believing that this is natural.
I don't have dispel, but I can detect it if you give me 11 minutes.
I mean, we've gotten this far. I don't see why we can't just wait a little bit longer. Just
Fair enough.
To see if we can have a set objective as to what we're looking for.
I will bed down by the door and begin casting Detect Magic as a ritual.
All right. During this 10 minutes, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm gonna keep an eye on the wizard.
I'm gonna check the door and just see if it's unlocked.
Okay. Vivian?
I was also going to check the door.
All right. Go up there and hang out with Freddy. Or Turam, what are you up to?
Are these barrels like actually there? These actual barrels in
Yep,
the back?
everything on this map is currently there. Like, this camel that's in the back is literally just laying down on its stomach and watching you guys.
Okay. I'm gonna go try and investigate, like, maybe what might be in the barrels.
Okay.
If I can.
Sure. And how do you investigate?
I'm gonna see if I can pry the lid off of a couple of them to see if I can see what's in them.
Okay. Starting with the closest one here is you take a dagger, I'm assuming a dagger, and begin to pry off the lid of this barrel. You get a very, very strong scent of alcohol. Very, 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 very strong alcohol. Which, had you looked on the outside of the barrel, you would have seen that it was the Kalito Ale.
Alright.
Imprinted on the outside of the barrel.
When Vivian joins me up by the door, I'm just going to quietly say to her, it's like, I'm not going to press you about where you went off to earlier, but I feel like it's something we should probably talk about. Perhaps not in present company.
Okay. I'm gonna go look at the camel now.
I'm gonna do the same thing with the other barrels as well, just to make sure that
Just to make sure
actually in there.
they're all
just to
alcohol.
make sure that it's all actually what it says is actually in there.
Yeah, so as you begin to pry them open, one by one, they're all alcohol. Except one of them. One of them is literally a barrel full of arrows.
Pog.
Yeah.
I'm gonna... Fuck it. I'm just gonna take a few.
All right.
How, like, full meaning, like, how many are in the barrel?
Like, there's probably close to 200 arrows in here.
I'm gonna take, like... Fuck. How much do you think a quiver could hold? Because I feel like I want to fill up...
Quiver
my
can
quiver
hold
if I
20 at a time.
Okay. Well, now I'm sad. Can I...
Unless you
put
have
more-
an unlimited capacity quiver, which, you know.
I don't.
Yeah.
Can I take some and put them in my bag? Like my backpack?
Sure. I mean, you could take some of them. I'm sure you might have some string or rope or something and grab a bunch of them, bundle them up into a nice little neat group and stick probably an extra 20 in your pouch if you wanted to.
Cool. That's what I wanted. That's actually the number I was going to ask.
Okay.
So you read my mind.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Freddy, as you walk up to the door and place your hand on the handle, being a little weary of traps and the such, you press the latch down. Once again, hear that familiar click as the latch releases and you're able to push the door in.
Same thing as darkness, or
No. From this end, you can see about 15-20 feet in front of you. I will do this because you're on the correct side to see it. See about 20 feet in front of you, or to the doorway or the wall over here. You can see this entire section before you reach this threshold, and as soon as you reach the threshold, that wall of darkness just stands right there.
Yep, this seems familiar.
While I'm outside, can I hear anything like movement or anything like that inside?
Give me a perception check.
Sure.
Alicia's still just watching over the wizard.
Yep, I want to make sure he's not interrupted.
All right. Perception check. Yeah, you're not hearing anything. You are so consumed by the idea of a barrel of 200 plus arrows that this is the only thing you care about right now.
Alright, cool.
Oh boy, arrows.
My
No.
favorite
arrows.
It's my favorite arrows, guys! I found them all!
He's sitting here, and as he's looking through this, he's like, maybe if I stick the lid back on, I could just roll this back to my home.
Nobody will suspect anything.
Nobody. Yeah, Freddy. So the room ahead, completely clear. The darkness falling up into the section up here. About the time that Freddy starts looking in, and Eratoram's gotten his hands on quite a few arrows, and Vivian now over petting the camel and paying some attention to it. Desmond comes back too, finishing his incantation, and is now able to detect magic.
Yieldsome. So I'm going to poke my head around the door, now noticing that Freddy is in there.
Mm-hmm.
Do I get any, if I walk in with him, do I get anything from this room up here?
All magical. Like, literally, as soon as you reach this threshold, it is nothing but brilliant light. As it makes the way detect magic just makes everything stand out and just brilliance. Yes, right in front of you.
Is it all the same type of magic, or is it lots of different things?
From what you see through the chamber here, and even over in this area here, you are seeing it's all the same type of magic. It has the same glow and same tint to it. It just, you can see the variations in it of different spells that are in play here.
Right. Okay. Cool. So I will, I guess, turn to him and I will say, well, I think it's probably just a darkness spell. So if you want to go in, be my guest, and I'll beckon towards the far end.
Yep. I will cast light on my mace.
You will cast light on yourself?
Yep. On the mace.
On the what? I'm sorry. Oh, the mace. Your mace, your weapon. Yeah.
I just pulled it out, torch, and just walked through
And
into the...
is that 20 feet brightness, 20 feet dim? Should be.
Yep.
All right. So here we go. Throw some light on you. I'm currently tracking that for myself. Yeah, you are able to cast light and see directly in front of you, but you haven't really done much. Let me check something real quick.
I'm gonna follow behind him.
I want to rejoin the group as well.
And yes, as you begin to proceed forward with light cast upon yourself, you watch as this cloud of darkness begins to push away the closer you get to it, with this light spell able to actually cut through this magical darkness.
Head on in.
I'll follow behind him.
Vivian, are you going
Same
to join
thing.
the group?
Same.
Oh, they didn't tell you they were going in. They just went in. Rude.
Before I joined, I wanted to make an animal handling check to, like, make the camel happy or something.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, give me an animal handling check.
Befriend the camel.
Yeah, just sitting here and petting it and just feeding it whatever bits of leaves and such that you can find around you, just trying to make it happy. And it seems to oblige and seems pretty comfortable with you sitting here and hanging out with it.
Cool. I will rejoin the group.
All right. So Freddy, as you begin to head into the chamber itself, you do see the magical bars that you recall quite well. Previously, the group, as you had made your way here, this was the trap holding cell that was set up, waiting as a distraction, allowing the assassin and all of his scouts to pretty much place threats upon the entire party. You see around the corner as you're kind of looking around, looking for anything notable. You do recall the stairway off to the southwest. But other than that, everything here is pretty empty. Almost as if this is meant to be a shell of a house. And instead, the stairway is what really matters here.
Right after confirming there really isn't anything, I'll make my way to where the stairway.
Okay.
Still following close behind.
Is it still open for me? That's not, or is it?
It is. Yes, it is still open. There's, as you guys recall, this used to have wood planks that completely covered it just to kind of hide it away. But currently, they're not there. You don't know why, but they're just not in place. Do you proceed down the stairs?
I turned to the rest of them and followed me. It's like, shall we continue?
I don't see why not.
Alright.
I'm gonna, before anyone walks downstairs, I'm gonna remind Freddy what the assassins said about following them down the stairs.
Yeah, I'm aware. And yet they've still already done stuff, so At this point, I figure the agreement's null and void. And I just head downstairs.
Okay.
And I'm right behind him.
When I say agreement, I use very heavy air quotes.
All right. You are heading into a dungeon crawl. At this point, I need to know what your marching order is.
Freddy's up ahead with his light.
Glad I grabbed those arrows.
I am right behind Freddy. Because otherwise I cannot see.
Yeah,
I'll be 4th or 5th in line, somewhere near the back.
I'll be right behind Leisha.
I'll be last.
All right. Yeah, you guys know that joke about, you get into a section, you find a bunch of ammo, a bunch of health potions, and all that stuff sitting there. Oh crap, it's a boss. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Pretty
That's why I
much
was like,
what
I'm
you
gonna
just
fucking
experienced.
Stock up.
Uh-huh. All right,
I'm gonna
so
fucking stock up. All right, let's do this.
then with that, let's dive into the Enclave then. You find yourself within an all-sandstone cavern. Everything here isn't out of the ordinary. It's very similar to what you've experienced when you go into the SLR. All of the brickwork, all of the flooring, everything within here, including the copper pipes that run throughout the entire ceiling of this chamber, all resemble what you've seen before. Except this isn't a level that you've seen before. This is somewhere in between. When you go to the SLR, you go much deeper into the city. This is almost like a sub-level of the main city. As if parts of the city are controlled here. Electrical, or the gas-powered clockwork lamps that are spread throughout the city. All of that is controlled here. As you walk in, you hear the faint rumblings of machinery everywhere. It echoes through this entire hallway as if you're standing right next to it, just loud, constant droning of machinery. You see light at the end of the hallway, but it's very faint. Freddy, as you step in here, everything feels damp. Your surroundings feel just as if everything has condensation built up on it. You are within the sub-level of the city, the first and primary sub-level where everything is controlled. What do you do?
To confirm that up ahead where it goes around the corner, that's the light coming from around the corner, correct?
That is correct.
Oh, say it's partly possible for the party to go. Not for the party to go. We're not trying to shout or anything, but point out the light up. And just say, should probably proceed with caution. Also, I'm not great at sneaking, so I don't know if one of the other.
Alright, get out of my way. Get out of my way. I kind of push and I'll get in front of Freddy.
Alright. It's a kind of tight fit, but you're able to do so. I mean, these hallways are maybe 5 foot wide, so you're kind of, okay, chest to chest. We're going to get through here. Hold on. 1 second. This is awkward. Hold on. But you make it. You're able to get in front of him.
She's just gonna squat so he can step over her.
I love it.
Hold on. Just go. It's fine. You step forward, Eratorum, and your eyes start to adjust. Do you have dark vision at all?
Nope.
Cool.
Because for some reason, Dragonborns don't have.
If I recall correctly, none of you do. Wait, Vivian does, right?
Vivian does. Should.
Vivian definitely should.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Everybody's here. Everybody here in the party is kind of like complaining. It's kind of dark down here. I can't see anything. And Vivian's like, what the hell are you talking about? It's fine.
It's
Fine.
fun.
Is there still the light coming from Freddy's mace?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Can't see lights, anyone?
I'll offer my mace if he wants to take it.
I could, like, it goes 20 feet, so I can still see in front of me, right?
Oh, yeah. Like, all of you can
Yeah.
see as far as you're going to be able to see in here right now.
Okay.
Thanks to Freddy's light.
And you said there's light coming, like, from the corner, right? Like, there's the corner, and then it goes...
Yep.
Like, there's light coming from there? Alright, cool. I am going to sneak my way up and try and peek around the corner to see what I can see in there.
So, for you guys, I don't know how often you guys have used Roll20, but in this campaign, I use dynamic lighting. So the light that you see, the shift in light, like down here, where there you can see a clear light division between where there's shadows and where there's light, that's actual light that is glowing here. There are going to be sections that are going to be completely dark. And if you don't have dark vision, you're not going to see anything unless you have a light. Can't see shit.
Yep. Alright.
So yeah, you can proceed forward however you would
Okay.
like.
I want to kind of stealthily poke my head around the corner, see what I can see without actually fully stepping out into the light.
Okay, go ahead and give me a stealth check to make your way towards the southern end of the chamber. Are the rest of you following suit, or are you standing still as Eratorum scouts ahead?
I'll follow if someone goes ahead of me. If someone starts, then I'll follow, but otherwise, no.
I'm gonna stay behind Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
Then we will stay behind.
Alright.
So you begin to stealth and move to where you were going to move to, Eratorum. You have 30 feet of stealth at this time.
I'm going to stop here, but I'm going to poke my head around the corner.
Okay. So as you poke your head around the corner, I will let you stand here and poke
Okay.
your head around the corner.
Alright.
As you look in, you see some of the many copper piping that makes up this part of the city. All the way down to a very long hallway that in spots is very bright as the gas clockwork lanterns begin to illuminate the pathways. You just see one individual walking through the hallway, his feet kind of slogging through what appears to be some standing water in the hall. Right over here, his back's to you. He's slowly moving away.
Does it look like a person or construct of some kind or anything like that?
As you take a quick glance at him, let me see. Yeah, your passive perception will be good enough. You take a quick glance at him, you see a shield, what looks to be some pretty heavy armor on him. Pretty well, prepared, as if he's a guard of some sort.
Okay. I'm going to stealth back up to the party, tell them what I saw, and then ask how they want to proceed.
Oh, I should be paying attention to that one, because you might not have actually saw that. Oh yeah, you can see it. Never mind.
So there's a light there.
Yeah, you can see it. He's right by the light. Yeah. Okay. So you peek back around the corner, go back up to the others stealthily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Once you reach past 30 feet, you have to re-stealth. And remember, if you left click on your token, press Q, you can mark how long or how far the travel distance is, so you don't have to misjudge it.
Yep, so 25 was where I stopped.
Yep.
So I had another 5 feet.
Yep, so you would go, because you were still standing here at the corner. You weren't actually around the corner. I was just moving you there so you could see something. So yeah, you can give me another stealth roll if you're attempting to keep quiet here. Oof. All right. All right. You can proceed with your 30 feet of movement.
Yup. I'll go back to the party and basically just tell them there's a little bit of light up ahead, but there appears to be somebody up there patrolling, watching for intruders, I would have to imagine.
Did they write that in specific library on, or is it just generic?
They look pretty armored. I couldn't see anything besides that. He was facing away from me.
Let's move ahead.
Do we want to retreat or do we want to go forward?
Do we want to watch and see how long before the next one comes?
I mean, we've come this far, so if we're gonna do anything, we should do it now. Why don't you go and do your knock him out or something? You're sneaky. As I look towards Eratorum.
Can try, I guess. I'm not so sure I want to get up close and personal with him, but
Before we start smacking around people, make sure it isn't is actually someone that's going to be hostile. I'd rather not just start attacking like some of the Evan company or something.
I'm sure they'll understand, especially if I describe our situation were they to be part of the Evan company.
I don't think they would understand that well.
I've got friends in high places. I'm gonna try and sneak my way back around the corner again, just like, yeah, down to the same spot I was before.
Friends in high places, Chad. Keep that in mind.
If I can. So here's where I get before I have to do my stealth thing again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That one's better.
Okay. That one is better.
I'm gonna
Proceed on.
stealth back down to the corner again. Poke my head around. So I'll stand here again.
Okay. Looking back down, it looks like he's only moved a few feet from where he was, very slowly making his way towards the west. You see him kind of looking around at the chambers, the hallway, and even down towards his gear, grabbing onto his longsword and, you know, just kind of admiring it a bit before sheathing it once again. Just slowly making his way through. You see him snap his fingers and creates a small ball of light that floats right with him and then just as easily makes it disappear. But continues his path towards the west.
Can I see any kind of like emblems or anything like that on him from this far?
You do. From where you see, everything on him is tan and green. On his cape, he has a very long green-colored cape. In the center of it is a odd-looking, it almost resembles a hand on fire in bright green in the dead center of the cape. You know very little about this emblem.
Okay. Do I know anything about it? Or no?
No.
Okay. Alright, so with that, I'm going to assume it's a bad guy. And I'm just going to shoot a frickin' arrow at him. Because why not? With my short bow, if I can. I'm going to try to.
Okay.
It's within range, because it's 80 feet, right?
So shooting from where you are, yeah, you're at 80 feet to be able to hit him.
Cool. I don't know if there's actually gonna be a thing I can do or not. I'm gonna try and shoot him and then duck back behind cover if I can. Like duck back into the corner. Like can I just peek out around the corner, shoot, and then get back?
I mean, if that's what you want to try to do, you can.
I want to try to do that.
You will not be doing so in stealth, though.
Okay. I am going to try and shoot him. Pew.
Unfortunately for you, as this flies forward, you watch the arrows start to fly true, and it bounces off of the shield that is holstered on his back. To which point he stops immediately and starts looking around, just trying to figure out what's going on. Hearing the arrow clatter to the ground, he turns around, reaches down, grabs the arrow, and then looks down the hall. Give me an athletics check. Let's see if you can quickly make your way around this corner without being seen.
Athletics?
Yeah.
Fuck. Alright.
Yeah, 15's
That's not
plenty
bad.
good. 15's plenty good. Quickly, as soon as the arrow releases, you see that it looks like it's flying true, and then you quickly duck around the corner because you realize, as you hear the arrowhead ping against the shield, it was ineffective. As the individual looks down, grabs the arrow, and then kind of scans the room, eyes kind of squint, you start to hear once again the sound of footsteps back through this water that is standing here in that section.
Are they coming back towards me, I'm guessing?
I don't know. You'd have to look. Do you want to
I
look?
can't hear? I don't want to look.
I mean, the difference of 5 feet's not going to be that much of a difference.
That's fair.
In audio.
That's fair. Alright.
Did I notice him like shoot this arrow that hear the plunk?
Oh yeah, I mean, as he peeked around the corner, the light that you could see down here he was right in the center of it. Like, you watched as he drew the bow back, and as soon as the arrow released, you watched as he kind of scampered around the corner trying to hide quickly. You watched him do this.
Freddy just watching this guy just face palm. It's just
I'm going to
Idiot.
stealth back to the party. So I got 15 here, so I've got 1, 2, 3. So I need to roll one more to get the rest of 10 feet, I guess. Pew.
Okay.
And I'm just going to stage whisper to everybody. He's not anybody that I recognize. He's not wearing a sigil that I recognize. He might be a little bit upset because I shot an arrow at him, but more than likely coming this way, so I'd recommend getting ready.
What was his
Yeah.
sigil looked like? Like, what did it look like?
It was a green hand with flames around.
Forge, does that sound familiar?
Yeah, you've seen that before. As he begins to describe it, and doing so, describing it as if it looks like a hand made out of flames almost. You quickly begin to think back, and yeah, that's pretty familiar to you. In fact, let's see if I have it in here somewhere. That's the sigil.
That's the sigil of the Emerald Claw, everybody.
Oh, wow.
I feel like we've just warp traded to the bee's nest.
So are we killing them or what?
I don't see why not. I'd recommend trying to keep at least one of them alive so we can get some information, but beyond that...
Wow, I really didn't think you were going to go for that. Okay, sure. If you want to go first, be my guest.
I don't know what you expect us to do in a single file line.
You go first.
The pathway opens up a little bit down the hallway here. I'm just around the corner. We definitely need to make our way there first.
Well, you started this. You can go right ahead.
Fair enough. And I'll sneak back down the hall again.
This time, I will follow.
Okay.
I will
If
also
anyone else is
follow, and
following too.
yeah, I'm gonna try and stealth.
I would recommend everybody try to be as
Okay.
quiet as possible.
Yeah, if you're gonna follow him and you want to be as quiet as possible, you should stealth right now.
I'm gonna do stealth again because this is as far as I can get
Okay.
before I have to stealth again. So I'm gonna do that real fast.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Freddy. Okay. Group stealth
-1.
check is finished. You're able to move 30 feet unimpeded. Eratorum, what is your passive perception?
Passive perception is 13.
Okay.
I can move 40 feet, but I'm going to choose not to.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Anything else?
Once I get to this corner again, I am going to stealthily poke my head around again to
Okay.
see what I see.
Because this is going to be an entirely different kind of stealth,
Yup,
I need you to give me another stealth roll.
you got it.
Oh, yeah. Peek your head around the corner.
Disappear into the shadows.
Peek your head around the corner, and you see this individual has now drawn his sword and his shield. And in the hand that is clutching onto his shield, you can see the tip of the arrow poking out from above it, as if he's still clutching onto it. And he's looking and watching. And you watch as he resheathes his sword and begins to conjure some magic, but doesn't actually cast it.
I'm just gonna turn back to the party. Not gonna say a word. I'm just gonna hold up a single finger and then kind of do this with my hands to see if anybody picks up what I mean, and just look for nods of recognition or looks of confusion.
I will just.
If my look doesn't change.
All right.
I look thoroughly confused.
That does surprise me.
Fair.
Hervey just rolls his eyes a bit and just nods at him.
All right. You doing this?
Fucking, I guess. I guess.
I love being an agent of chaos. It's great.
Fuck. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna poke back around and I'm gonna try to shoot the guy again.
Okay. Doing so is going to expose you.
Yup.
I'm sure you're aware of this.
Yup.
Okay. Step around the corner and fire your shot.
Alright, you got it.
But before you do, I want everybody to please
To roll initiative.
roll initiative. Make sure you click on your tokens, open your character sheet, and click initiative.
Wow. 2 18s and 3 11s.
Yep. Great.
As you do.
Great.
That is perfect. That is perfect for me. I mean, I'm
bet.
sorry, guys.
I bet it is. I bet it is perfect for you.
I'm sorry, guys.
I'm just stuck here in the fucking
He's really
open.
not. That smile says he's not really sorry.
He's not sorry at all.
I bet there's like 6 of them and they got a 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12.
Move this over here a second. Put this in the right spot. 1 second. I'm gonna put this right here. Yeah, that's good.
Forge's inner evil is showing.
No, I'm good. I'm good. All right, so yeah, things are happening. Starting at the top, because this individual is obviously not surprised. He knew you were there and was anticipating it. And as he sees Eratorum peek his head around the corner, you watch as he reaches forward with his hand, and underneath of you, Eratorum, you see the grasp of skeletal arms reaching up, grabbing onto your legs. As you do, you begin to kick him away, quickly trying to fight yourself out of this grasp. You're able to avoid taking any damage from it as the chill touch spell is unleashed on you. Desmond, back behind all of this, you hear the sound of these skeletal arms reaching through the stone and the clattering of the bones. Something bad just happened down to the south, and Eratorum was the target.
Grand. Okay. I am. Let's see. Bollocks. I'm going to. Is it just normal movement to move through allies?
Yes, you can pass through their space as normal movement.
Okay, so I will go 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll hit 20 on Eratorum. I will look around and I assume I see the dude.
You absolutely do.
And I will cast. How far is he? Close to me. He's in 60 feet. I'm going to cast a Ray of Frost at him.
Alrighty.
So. It's a ranged spell attack.
It is a ranged spell attack, and a 17 is going to connect. So if you click where it says Ray of Frost in the chat bar, it will roll your damage.
1 cold.
A whole 1 cold damage. Alright,
But
so...
his speed is reduced.
But his speed is reduced, as you mentioned, and as this Ray of Frost goes forward, you watch as he pulls up the shield, able to mitigate most of the damage from it. The front of the shield covered now in frost, but he feels a little lethargic after taking the attack, and his movement is now slowed. Is it halved?
Just reduced by 10 feet.
There we go. Thank you.
Until my next turn. And
Yep.
I will say, shite, and move back 5 feet behind the wall, and that's my turn.
Okay. Freddy, things are happening. See Ray of Frost leap from the fingertips of Desmond, but he doesn't seem too impressed by what he just saw.
Well, I moved forward. That was 15 feet. Let's see what's going on with this guy. And I'm going to cast Hold Person.
Cool.
Nice.
Wisdom save?
Yes, sir.
Wisdom save. A 17. What is your spell save?
Only.
Probably a 14?
Yeah, it's 14.
Unfortunately, as you begin to cast this and concentrate heavily on trying to grasp him, it's almost as if mentally he's just fighting with you, and he just stares daggers at you and is able to just break right through this and is unaffected by your spell.
Well, considering we're still doing this anyway, I'm going to, before the last 15 feet. When you say it is to move, to hold down Q.
Yep, so if you click on your token, click and hold, press the Q button, move where you want to, press Q again, it will show your distance. And you can make stops that way too, so every time that you press Q, that's a stop. So what would happen if you did it, you could go like this. So you would start 1, 2, and that's how your movement would show up. Or if you wanted to do it from here, you could go 1, 2, and it would do the same thing. I didn't get it to show both times because I didn't click the final one.
Right. Yeah, that's. I'm just gonna move up to there.
Alrighty. Anything else?
Nope, that's my turn.
Alrighty. Vivian up ahead. Chaos is beginning to unravel. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna move my full 3 feet, and then I'm gonna attack with Eldritch Blast.
Alright. Alright, up ahead you see the Emerald Claw Soldier clutching on to his shield and casting Eldritch Blast. 14 as it lunges forward and leaves from your fingertips. You watch as the soldier clutches on a little firmer onto his shield and just lifts it up and almost like a sideways motion, and it just bounces right off of his shield.
Well, I'm going to crouch down so the others can easily hit things over my head or climb over me easy.
Okay, so you're not going prone, but you're trying to crouch. Is that correct?
Proud.
All right.
Yes.
Alrighty. Erturum, you're directly behind Vivian. You watch as she kneels down a little bit, giving you enough room to be able to fire off more shots towards the Emerald Claw Soldier, if you so choose.
And that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
There you go. A 23 is definitely going to connect. Now you watch as he reaches forward, taking the shield, and attempts to block it, but it goes just to the north of it, piercing through the skin and the corner of his shoulder. You watch as he frantically reaches up with his free arm, yanks it out of his shoulder, and continues moving forward.
Alright. I'm going to use my movement to do a thing. Okay. I don't understand how you did that. She did the thing.
movement?
She said it was,
So,
the movement thing.
click and hold,
Uh-huh.
then press Q, move where you want to move, press Q again, and then release.
Got it. Alright.
That'll show you, at least show you a measurement so you can get a better understanding of where you're going.
Got it. Then I'm gonna bonus action try and hide like in the shadow of like these pipes and stuff back here,
Okay.
if I can.
Yeah, you have that ability to bonus action stealth, right?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Because thieves stuff. Yeah, cunning action.
Yep. And then go ahead and give me your stealth check. All right.
All right.
All right.
That was fun.
It's kind of a stealth, but it's kind of what you expect where you're standing at, because there's plenty of light shining between all of this pipe work here. So.
Yep.
All right. Leisha, you are up.
I'm gonna come down around the corner, and I'm gonna use Vivian as a springboard. I'm just gonna like leap off her back in front of her, and as I do, I'm gonna shoot my sunbolt at the guy.
Nice. As you use her as a springboard and jump over top, your hair grazes against the ceiling, as the ceiling is only 15 foot high in this section. As you're springboarding over her. 10, unfortunately, though, with the sun bolt, is going to reflect right off of the shield and do no damage on impact.
Alright, then I'm gonna use the rest of my movement to get right between Eratorum and Freddy.
Alright.
And pull out my kendo stick.
Okay. Alrighty. Everybody lined up against the wall. You watch as the Emerald Claw soldier looks at you and stops. And then he smiles. Boys, we have guests! His voice echoing through all the chambers. Then he reaches down, clutching onto his longsword, and pulls it from the sheath and immediately charges forward. Unfortunately, Eratorum, your stealth was not enough to keep you hidden.
Oh yeah, no way in hell.
As he takes 2 longsword swipes at you. The first one an 18, the second one a 10.
First one hits.
First one hits as it makes impact. It is going to deal 3 points of slashing damage, and I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please. Constitution saving throw does mitigate this cold energy that begins to engulf your body as this sword attack lands, and you're able to protect yourself against this necrotic energy.
Okay.
Desmond, you're up.
I will move down 1 square. Seeing him there next to everyone else, I will conjure up a spell. I'm going to send a magic missile his way.
Nice.
And that's 3, right? That's 3 times. Yeah, so it's 3.
Yeah,
so
that is 3.
3, 4, 2.
Minus 9.
And on hitting that, I will just tap Vivian on the back and say, "You got this," and I'll move back 5 feet again behind the wall.
Okay. As you do, you watch as the 3 missiles fly forward, each one making impact to the soldier, who has dropped his attention from that side of the room and is focused squarely on Eratorum, who has the bow drawn, and he got hit in the shield with the bow, so he knows it was him attacking it first. Freddy, you're up.
I'm going to move up to the top right of the guy, and I'm going to cast the spell Bless on myself, Eratorum, and Lucia.
Nice. So, Bless on the 3 of you. All right, and you are also... 1 second. One more thing here. Where is it? I don't see it. Okay, I found the one I wanted. All right. Concentrating on the Bless spell, you cast it upon the 3 of you. Now, all 3 of you, when you make your attack rolls or saving throws, you get a 1d4 added onto that. Anything else ready?
I'm also going to use my ability, Voice of the to allow Eratorum to make a weapon attack.
Yep. All right.
Cool.
So you get actions.
So I'm gonna drop. Can I drop my bow and pull out my rapier?
Absolutely.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. Yep. And dropping your bow to the ground, it clatters against the sandstone flooring here, and you pull out the rapier and slash forward. 21 is definitely going to make contact.
And within range, so you get.
Yeah. And then do
Yep.
I also get sneak attack as well, right?
You do get sneak attack.
Okay. And so that I just do roll/R 2d6.
Yep. You can also create that as an option as you're rolling damage too. So I can show you how to do that. So it would automatically roll it whenever you roll your attack roll.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be great.
All right. So 10 points of damage as you jab forward. You watch as this rapier, as you pierce forward, it actually pierces through his armor and pierces into his side. Blood starting to spew out of the side, his side, and he clutches to it a little bit, holding on to his shield, but using his fist, his balled up fist, to put pressure on it. He is definitely hurting.
Okay. I'm just gonna smile at him like, not as tough as you look.
Okay. Anything else?
That's my turn.
Alrighty. 1 second.
Oh wait, there's a thing there. Never mind, I'm dumb. I could have clicked that. Doggo says hi.
Phantom Douglas.
Yeah, I see the sneak damage thing now. I don't know how I missed that before.
Alrighty. Alright. Alicia, you're up.
I'm gonna go up to him with my kendo stick, and I'm just gonna like uppercut him with it, and then hit him across the face.
Nice.
Two-handed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
go ahead and give
yeah.
me some damage on that. All right. So put a little flavor on it as to how you killed this individual after you uppercutted them and killed them and then smacked them in midair as they were falling.
So I take my kendo stick and I uppercut him, and then when I smack him around the face, the force is so hard that my hair just ends up whacking him in the face following my stick.
Nice. And as he falls, being knocked up into the air with the first shot and then falling, just crumbling to the ground, you begin to hear the sound of footsteps echoing through the hallways here.
Sounds like we got one coming. Best get ready.
Eratorum, you're up.
Do I see any more that are coming?
You
no,
do
I
not
took
see
my action,
anybody
so.
yet, no. No. You did not see them yet.
I am going to sheathing a weapon is an action, right?
Yep.
Like a sheath or alright.
Or half your movement.
Yeah. Like I'll do half my movement then. Actually, does it sound like the footsteps? Can we tell which way they're coming from roughly or not?
Not with your passive perception, no.
Okay.
If you want to use your primary action to do a perception check, you can.
I would like to do that. I'm going to use half my movement to resheath my rapier. In that same movement, can I pick up my short bow?
Sure,
as well
I'll
or
give you
not?
that.
Okay. And then I will listen to see if I can tell which direction they are coming from.
Okay. Based on that roll, you are hearing the reverberation of footsteps coming from all the way down at the end of this very long hallway, and they even seem to bounce off of the pathway here that you can see just around the corner.
Okay. So nothing in the room above us then?
Correct.
Okay. I am going to basically, I'm going to tell everybody that they're coming from this direction, and
And then I'm going to do this thing. I'm going to use the rest of my movement to get up here. And then bonus action hide.
Okay. Quickly ducking around the corner, attempting to stealth once again. Vivian, before you even got to interact with him, he was already dead.
Yep. As an action, am I able to hide?
You can use your primary to stealth, yes.
Okay, so... And I'm gonna hide there.
Okay. Alrighty, and give me a stealth check. Yep, that's about as well as I expected. Alright. Anything else?
Nah, that's my turn.
Nope, that's it.
Well, actually, I'm gonna pat Desmond on the back and say, "You got him."
That's fair. That's fair enough.
You got this. Okay. Give me a second. Don't mind me, I'm not doing anything. It's fine.
Oh no, yeah.
Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain.
I was gonna say, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
That man's dead. You're still in combat order here, Desmond, but it is your go.
Okay, I will 5, 10. So that's my 10 feet of movement over there. We know that they're coming from the left tunnel
And the south tunnel. There's one tunnel right over here. Based on what Eraturum has heard, he could hear footsteps coming from both passageways here.
Okay, that kind of screws up what I was going to do. So instead of that, I'm going to... Yeah, I'll move up the rest of my movement to go just behind Leisha, and I will hold a firebolt for the nearest one that I see.
Okay. Sounds good. Freddy, what are you doing?
So, the sounds of footsteps coming from both up to the north and to the west of us?
No, to the west and southwest. There's a branch in the tunnel here. So
Okay,
right
no,
over here. Oh, I'm on the wrong level here. Hold on. Right over here. There's a branch, and it goes south and it goes west. He could hear echo of footsteps coming from both passageways.
Alright, so I actually want to use my action to stoop down and check out, see what this guy has on him, take the sword.
Alrighty. Reaching down, checking out what all he has on him. He has a longsword and a shield. That's about it. His chainmail has been, or scale mail has been pierced from the rapier attack, making it pretty useless at this point. But that's about all he has. No coin purse or anything like that. He's pretty bone dry here.
Right. Well, I'm going to take the sword anyway.
All right. You have a general use longsword in your possession.
And then I'll just move up to the north, kind of behind Eraturum.
Eraturum. I told you I'd get that name before this session.
Oh yeah, I did. I knew you could. I had full faith in you.
Could be worse. Could be like what, 9 sessions in, we still say your name wrong.
Facts.
Mm-hmm. All right. So hiding around the corner up there, hanging out with Eraturum. Alicia, what are you doing?
You said they were coming from both directions.
Yep, off to the west and southwest.
West and southwest.
So they're coming from both little directions.
That way.
All right.
That way, and then there's also a little corridor down here.
All right. I'm just gonna move to here, and I'm gonna get into batting stance, and I'm gonna slug anybody who gets close enough.
Alrighty. Eraturum, what are you doing?
I guess I'm going to hold a short bow attack for anybody that comes into range
Okay.
down that hallway.
Alrighty. So holding a short bow attack if somebody gets in range. Got lots and lots of spells and stuff being held. This will be a pretty interesting start to combat. Vivian.
Can I still hold that and hide at the same time?
If you're holding an action, you have to hold just an action. You can't hold an action and bonus action.
Well, I wasn't wanting to hold the hide. I was wanting to hide while holding the action. If I could.
Oh yeah, I mean you're staying in stealth already. You stealthed away a while ago.
Sounds good. All right.
Yep.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
Yep. Vivian.
Well, since no one's come yet, I'm going to move back out. And I will also hold Eldritch Blast for whoever I see.
All right. Everybody with your ranged attacks, go ahead and get ready because here comes target number 1. So going back down the turn order here, Desmond, you were holding your action first.
So away goes the firebolt.
Away goes firebolt. 16 is going to make impact.
Yeah. 2 damage.
2. Woo.
2 whole damage.
At least you're hitting.
Yeah, at least
Exactly.
you
At least
did
you're
something.
hitting.
Freddie,
At least
you
you
had
didn't
no held ranged action, correct? Freddie?
No, I didn't have any.
All right. Leisha,
I
not...
assumed my action was examining the guy.
Yep. Leisha, your damage attack isn't 15-foot range, so yours is not going to go off. Eraturum, though, you can launch an arrow at him if you would like to do so.
Of course.
Knock an arrow into the short bow you release, and it makes impact.
Did I technically have advantage on that, since how he didn't know I was there?
Either one would have hit. And that's not a natural 20, so...
I mean, for sneak attack.
Yeah, because he wouldn't have known you were there. Yes, I will give you the sneak attack then.
Sweet.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't click the thing.
He
I
wasn't
didn't click the thing
technically
before I did.
surprised, but he didn't know where you were because you were from stealth. Alrighty. Yeah, so doing a nice little chunk of damage as the arrow flies. Vivian.
Can I see him from where I'm at?
Yeah, you can see him. Kind
Cool,
of.
I'm gonna...
Here, let's see. Yeah, you can see him. You can see his shoulder. He's gonna get half cover.
Alright, I'll still attempt.
Alright.
Do I need to do this at disadvantage?
Nope. Just do your regular roll. And 19 is still going to make impact, so you clip his shoulder with the Eldritch Blast. Go ahead and give him some damage. Nice little chunk of damage. And as the Eldritch Blast leaves her fingertips, flies right over the shoulder of Leisha and makes good impact into the shoulder of this soldier. He stumbles back a little bit and kind of readjusts himself, and then looks forward and begins to charge. Leisha, your held action is now up.
Just clotheslines him with the kendo stick.
Yeah, that's gonna be enough.
10.
Nice.
This poor guy.
This poor guy didn't even he's still alive, but he barely made it through this round of combat, and he hasn't even got to attack yet. Kendo stick coming out, just baseball slug, just smack right across the head. You see him stumble back a little bit and kind of stumbles trying to regain his footing, but as he does, a snarl crosses his face as he reaches for his longsword and makes 2 attacks at you, Leisha. A 17 and an 11.
The 17 will hit.
All right, so as the 17 hits, I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Don't forget you get the D4.
You get a D4. Unfortunately for you, a 7 is not going to be enough to do it, as 5 points of slashing and 3 points of necrotic damage affect you. And with that, this guy over here's got to move. And he'll come onto this scene here. Yeah. So he moves right around the corner. You watch as another armored individual, very similar to his friend, also shows up right here around the corner. He is going to do much the same. Seeing Leisha to the south, he is going to make 2 quick attacks with his longsword, a 10 and a 6, both of which are going to miss.
Yep.
Desmond, couple people in front of you, one way down the hallway. What do you do?
Okay, I'm going to move as far as I can up to... Yeah, I'll go behind Freddy, and when I hit right here, then I will let loose a firebolt at the one who we all shot.
Okay. So the one that's badly wounded.
Yeah,
and 18's gonna hit.
Free fire.
Yeah, as the firebolt makes impact and splashes against the scale mail, you watch him kind of writhe in pain a little bit, but he is still standing.
Cool. That's my turn.
Alrighty. Freddy, a little bit of action around the corner there for you.
Yep. Sorry, 1 sec. I'll step about the corner on the other side of your...
Alright, and your attacks.
I'll use Toll the Dead on the guy that the party had already battered.
That looks pretty battered. Alright, so the one to the south there, go ahead and give me the cast. And 10 if it hits. 1 second. He needs a wisdom save, right? Yeah, wisdom save 14. He rolled a natural 20.
Jeez.
So it takes no damage from the Toll the Dead, hearing the ring of the bells, and looks up at you and just kind of shakes his head. And you fool, I love necrotic damage.
Ooh.
That'll be my turn.
All right.
Really
Alicia.
adopted the necrotic damage. I was born
Alicia,
into
front
it.
lines, guy right in front of you, just kind of laughing at Freddy here.
I'm gonna bring my kendo stick back, and I'm gonna smack him in the head with it, and then I'm gonna do a pirouette around to smack him in the head again.
Alrighty. Yeah, and both of which are going to make solid contact. Once again, after the first strike, you watch as this guy starts to get a little light on his feet and begins to crumble to the ground, but that doesn't stop you from pirouetting around and smacking him a second time, dropping him like a sack of bricks to the ground.
Kendo sticks hurt.
Yeah, apparently so. Just for all of you keeping track at home, that is now 2 kills that she has taken. Stolen. Taken. Whatever. I mean, she's doing considerable damage.
She's doing
to these guys.
considerable damage, yes.
Yeah.
It's just these guys are super hurt as it is.
Uh-huh. All right. Anything
it's not
else?
like I did 2 damage and they went down.
Yeah.
Right?
True. Alicia, anything else?
Nope, that'll be it.
All right, cool. Eratorum, you are up. You watched as the one to the south just crumpled to the ground after a couple smacks from Leisha.
If I move back, will he get an attack of opportunity against me?
Yes. Unless you disengage.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bonus action disengage.
And you do have bonus action disengage already, so yeah, you should definitely do that. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
I'm going to do that.
Because that's a rogue thing.
And it is a rogue thing. Because rogues are awesome.
Meh.
Fine. Be that way. But no, I'm going to back up to here, and I'm going to loose an arrow at that guy's face.
All right. You knock the arrow, and as soon as it looses, Freddy just happens to look back and sees you move and watches as this arrow just whizzes right by his face and makes good contact into the chest of this soldier here. Nice. Anything else?
I do not believe so, no.
Alrighty, so you watch as the arrow pierces into the scale mill chest plate and pierces into him, just reaching up with his free hand and just snapping it off at this point, knowing there's no retreating here. He's in it for the long haul. Vivian, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna move and then I'm gonna Eldritch Blast.
All right. Attempting to throw it in between Leisha and Freddy here. As you're rushing forward, go ahead and give me that cast. Ooh. All right.
No!
So the first one of this game. For all of you new people here in this campaign, we have a fumble table. If you roll a natural 1, you then roll a D100, and we determine what the outcome is going to be. I need to find my little table here. Wherever it is, there it is. 16 on the fumble table. Alrighty. Okay. As you begin to rush forward and you cast this, the spell kind of backfires in your hand. And as it does, it causes this giant cloud, this 5-foot cloud of smoke to engulf you. You are now engulfed in smoke, and you can't see anything anywhere around you as you're constantly rubbing your eyes through to your next round, or to the next round. So you can't do really anything here.
Awesome.
Yeah, it happens. That guy's dead. This guy's not, though. He's coming. Slowly, but he's coming. He'll get up here. Yeah, I mean, he's here. Yeah, he can do that. You watch as he lunges forward, extending his hand, and you watch him conjure a bit of magic. Leisha, at your feet, you watch as the skeleton hands begin to reach up and grab onto you. Does a 14 hit?
No, it does not.
All right, and kind of similar to what Eratorum did, you watch as the skeletons begin to build themselves around your feet, and you begin to kick them away, attempting to prevent them from grabbing onto you. The other guy up here, he's going to look at the two of you and has to decide which one he wants to attack. And with that decision, he decides he is going to attack Leisha, getting 2 more longsword attacks in your direction. An 18 and a 6.
The 18 will hit.
All right, go ahead and give me another Constitution saving throw.
That one's a little better.
That's gonna be enough. As the sword pierces through your clothing here, dealing 4 slashing damage, but you're able to kind of knock off or survive through the necrotic damage that begin to engulf you. And with that, Desmond, back to you.
I will pop out over here so that I can see this guy that's attacking from close range, and I will just throw another firebolt at him.
Alrighty. 15 is not enough as it goes forward. You watch as at the last second he manages to brace his shield up just fast enough to be able to blast the firebolt out of his face.
Okay. So with the rest of my movement, I'll reach my hand in front of Vivian's face and waft away as much smoke as possible in about 2 seconds before ducking back to where I was.
All right. Freddy, you're up.
Alright. I will. Jump guiding bolt. No, 120 feet. Something. I'm going to guiding bolt the guy in the back that's coming up.
Okay. Yeah, 23 is going to make contact. 10 radiant, and he is going to be illuminated by this radiant essence, making the next attack against him at advantage.
Yep.
All right, 10 damage. Nice solid shot. As it bounces off of his chest plate, you watch as he kind of stumbles a little bit, placing his hand on the sandstone wall, just trying to keep his balance as he continues to try to move forward. Anything else?
Nope, that will be my turn.
All right, Leisha, you are up.
I'm going to bring my kendo stick across his abdomen, and then I'm going to spin around and just jam it into him with my back to him.
All right. Nice. Yeah, both of those are going to hit once again. Those rolls are insane. Holy crap.
Monks are scary.
All right, and once again, you see this guy is pretty close to death's door here, taking quite a bit of a beating from the kendo stick. Did you say you were moving to the other side of him?
Yeah, move like
All right.
further.
Go ahead and move where you're going to move. All right. And anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right.
It's my action, my bonus action.
Eratorum, this guy looks pretty beat up, and there's still one coming down the hallway.
So seeing that this guy's pretty hurt, and I've got 2 teammates right next to him, I'm going to move up a little bit and send a short bow, send an arrow at the guy down the hall.
Alrighty. Yeah, 19's gonna hit.
Alrighty. And then I get sneak attack because I have advantage because guiding bolt, correct?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
All right, and like his counterpart up there a little bit closer to you, this one is also looking pretty bad off.
Alright, alright, I am then going to... I'm just gonna duck back here. No, actually, I'm gonna duck back to where I was. Down here. And bonus action hunt.
Alrighty. Alright, and with that, we move on to Vivian.
Save us, Vivian.
Is the smoke gone?
Yeah, the smoke leaves as soon as the start of your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna. The guy in front of Alicia and Freddy looks really hurt.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can do vicious mockery and just kill him.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Let's see. What's it say? He rolls a 12. 2 points of damage, but unfortunately is not enough to drop him.
Ugh.
What do you say to him?
Was he the one that said he likes necrotic damage?
No, that was his buddy to the south.
Dang it, I had a perfect thing. I'm just gonna say that his family is disappointed in him and he's amounting to nothing.
All right.
That's brutal.
That's
Not
pretty
mad,
rough.
Just
Like,
disappointed.
he kind of looks up at you and is like, "Oh, really?"
A single tear.
A single tear.
And I'll move a little bit and then that's my turn.
Alrighty. So with that, this one's gonna move up a little further. Yeah, he's gonna get to right here. And then he is going to once again try the same thing that hasn't worked on any of you so far. A 15, Leisha. 15 gonna hit?
Nope.
Of course it's
Nope.
not. As you watch once again, the skeletal arms make their way through the floor, and once again you're like, nope, not, no, hold on, wait a second, no, and knock him out of the way. The one to the north, once again, he needs to decide who he wants to attack. Once again, it's going to be Leisha. 2 longsword attacks, an 8 and an 8, both of which are going to miss. These guys are running out of luck really quick. That brings us back to Desmond.
Right. I'll go back right here. Yeah, I'm just gonna attempt to finish off that top one with the same thing.
All right. Yeah, Firebolt 23 is definitely going to hit.
Hey.
6 damage. The one to the north there?
Yes, the one
All
that's
right.
attacking the two of them.
All right, and as you make impact with the firebolt, you watch as it begins to slowly disintegrate parts of his armor as he collapses to the ground, unmoving.
Sweet. In that case, I will just... Yeah, I'll just move back next to Eratorum, and I'll just stay there and get ready. Turn to him and be like, hey, how you doing?
Just ignores you.
I'm fine.
He's too in the zone.
I'm fine. Okay.
Can I use my reaction, or whether it's a free action or not, but to just shout out, "We need the last one alive."
Sure, I'll let you do that.
All right.
Freddy, you're up.
Alright. I'm just gonna step forward and hit it with my mace.
Unfortunately for you... Oh, well, there we
18.
go. There we go. That's going to be enough. That'll make impact here. All right. Anything else?
Nah, just that. And as Ragnar like hearing to keep him alive, I'll just right. And I try to like aim for like not something anything too vital.
Not something that's too vital.
Non-lethal damage.
We'll find
With the
something
mace.
here. Hold on. Yeah, he's still alive. Still willing to fight here, or somewhat willing to fight. But yeah, he's still alive. Pretty beaten though. Alicia, you're up.
Alright, I want to try something. I'm going to put my kendo stick away. Can I use my hair to try and grapple him?
Yes.
Sure.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to like just take one into my hair and just like wrap it around him to try and hold him in place.
Okay, so it's going to be a strength check at disadvantage. I say disadvantage because you're trying to use a non-natural kind of weapon to do it. Let's see how he rolls. Yeah, no, he rolled a 20. He's definitely escaping that. As you take your hair and you begin to wrap it around him, he almost gives you this very confused look, like, what? Wait, what do you? Oh no, I will cut that. Knocks it out of the way. Anything else? Alicia? Anything else?
I'm thinking. No.
No? All right.
No, I'm not going to waste it.
All right. Eratorum, you're up. You just watched her try to strangle a guy with her hair.
Alright, I'm going to take a step forward in front of Desmond. I'm going to bonus action summon my Psychic Blade in my hand, and then throw it as an attack.
Alrighty. Alrighty.
So,
So you would need to do a
D20
range,
plus
so
5.
dex check.
Okay, so it's
Dex
got an
check.
actual like sting in D&D Beyond, but I don't have it on here. It's +5 to the hit DC.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm aiming for non-lethal.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. And that would do 1d6 psychic damage. So go ahead and give me the dice roll on that, just to make sure it's enough.
It's a D6 plus 3,
Mm-hmm.
so 4 damage.
That will be enough. So as you're aiming, you're trying to find just the right spot, and you decide you're going to throw it low. And as Leisha is kind of stumbling and kind of regaining her balance after trying to choke this guy out, you throw the dagger and it goes right beside her and it kind of pierces him in the hip. And you watch as he immediately drops to one knee in front of you. And he kind of raises his hand. I yield. I yield.
Alright. Cool. Yeah.
Well, tie him up. What are you waiting for?
Just
Alright.
looks back
Fair enough.
at Desmond. It's like looks around at the other fallen dead bodies, and it's like, really?
Okay.
Well, if nobody else is going to make the move too, I'm going to go up and I'm going to grab my rope and I'm going to attempt to tie him up.
All right.
I'm gonna pick up my kendo stick.
Give me a sleight of hand check as you're doing that. Vivian, give me a perception check as this is going on. Oh yeah, you're definitely able to tie him up real good. You have no trouble with it. In fact, people are questioning how you got so good at making knots like this. Vivian, here's something a little unsettling. You hear the sound of chittering off to the north. The sound of what sounds like insects or bugs or something of that nature, making a bit of noise in the chamber to the north of you.
I'm gonna go my 30 feet and see if I can see anything.
Okay. As you step into the chamber and start to look, give me one more perception check. Back over to this group here. Eratorum, you quickly tie this individual up. Alicia kind of standing directly in front of him. Give him a bit of a warning, just to keep quiet and not to bring attention to the group here. You quickly tie him up, tying his hands behind his back and then tying his arms straight behind him, keeping him from moving whatsoever. Vivian, as you're looking around this chamber to the north, you see lots of what looks like mucus all over the floors and the walls in this chamber.
Is there a roll I can make to see if I know where the mucus is coming from?
Oh, it's everywhere. You look all around and there are literally just trails of it all over the floor and the walls and even the ceiling.
I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to call for Freddy.
Okay. Looking back over her shoulder, giving a shout out to Freddy, attempting to get his attention. And as she does, we're going to stop and take a 5-minute break.
Cool.
I do just want to say, as I'm tying him up, I just want to whisper in his ear, "Not so tough now, are ya?" And then,
All right, guys. So we're going to take our short 5-minute break. When we get back, we're going to do a bit of role play, figure out where we're going in this dungeon. Their very first dungeon crawl. Very exciting. And then, when we get back, we'll get this all sorted out. So stick around and don't go anywhere. We got lots more to come.
like, for League specifically.
All right. So bringing the story back here. Vivian off to the north hears sounds of what appears to be chittering, and as she begins to look around the chamber, she sees this mucus-like slime covering the entire floor and ceilings and the walls in this chamber. Off to the south, the rest of the party has been gathered around the Emerald Claw soldier, who they have decided to not kill, but instead tie up. to get a bit of information out of him. We'll start with Vivian's part of it, as she called back to Freddy, attempting to get his attention and bring him back up to the north.
Freddy?
Yeah. Freddy will tell the rest of the party, alright, just hold right here for a minute, and then we'll
Later, Trump just glares at him.
Freddy, I need you.
I don't have any troubles with Mitchell.
I heard something in this room and there's a bunch of slime everywhere and I'm concerned.
So, look around after you see what Vivian's talking about. I feel like it's pretty hard to miss all the coatings of slime going on.
Yeah, once she pointed it out, you're able to start seeing it pretty much everywhere.
Do I also hear chittering or whatever it is?
Yeah, you hear the sound, kind of like a clicking or popping sound. Sounds like the best way I can describe it is sounds like just bugs, just making a bunch of noise. Very kind of creepy, just disgusting. Like you hear it and you're like, oh no, okay, no, I'm good.
Should I go in and check it out?
Does the slime cover the floor immediately from like where we're at all the way?
It mostly covers about 15 feet or so in. So probably close to about here. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Hold on. About close to here and inward or outwards towards where the light is shining back here at the back of the chamber.
I'll cautiously step in, just make sure there isn't anything immediately inside. Walk up to the slime, but not step in.
Okay.
I'm going to follow Freddy.
All right. As you begin to take a look around in here, Freddy, give me a perception check at advantage. All right. Cool. Moving on to the group to the south, as they are taking a look around and investigating things to the north. What are you guys doing?
I want to start interrogating this guy.
Sure.
If Eratorm is interrogating, I want to keep a lookout if anything else is coming.
I want to move. Can I move him back into the room that we first came in, to like in here?
Sure, of course.
Okay. All right, I want to do that then.
While that's happening, I'm just gonna put the raven down this hallway just to see, where they came from.
And I'm going to loot the dead bodies.
All right.
Yeah, that actually brings up another thing. I wanted to, as I was tying him up, I didn't want to take his longsword.
Okay. Unfortunately, kind of like what Freddy was experiencing, you're not finding much on the bodies of these fallen Emerald Claw soldiers. As you kind of dig through, you find at most between the three of them here that have been killed, you only find 3 gold pieces, and then just random little bits and things that they carry on them, along with their long swords.
Do they have any like sigils or signet rings?
No, nothing of that. Nothing really ornate or anything like that they would keep on them.
All right.
Okay. Desmond, feel free to send the bird wherever you want to send it.
I will start with sending her just down here to see what she sees.
Okay. As the bird enters into this chamber, you can tell that it appears that this room kind of wraps around and makes a square with the center of it kind of cut out and walls blocking your pathway. As you're looking around, there are very ornate looking statues, each of them bearing the sigil of the Emerald Claw on the tabard that covers over top of their armor. All of these statues are all standing at attention, swords drawn, ready to strike. As the bird starts looking around the chamber, it starts to notice the pathways go both off to the left and right, and there are other passages that lead off of each side of that.
Okay. I'll just bring her back and keep that to myself for now.
Okay. Eratorum?
Alright, with him in this room here, I'm gonna summon another psychic blade in my hand. Hold it up to his throat. Just be like, what are you doing down here?
Kind of tilts his head back, and the blade of the psychic blade pressed up against his throat kind of looks at you. This is our place. This is our hideout. What are you doing down here?
Looking for you.
You're not looking for me.
Who are we looking for?
But you know who you're looking for.
They might know, as I nod my head towards up towards the room above us. Seeing, now that we've come in here, I can see where they went. Be like, I'm new here, so feel free to elaborate.
If you're looking for me to tell you where you are going to find Erandis, well, you're mistaken.
Did you say Erandis?
Yes.
Okay. Second. Well, it's all well and good, but I know that they've probably already given you instructions, so what are you doing down here? I say as I press the blade a little bit firmer into this throat.
I kind of gulps a little bit and I have a job just like you. My faith requires me to be here. I am doing my part.
Your faith. What does your faith have to do with this?
He looks down at his tabard. Thought it was pretty obvious.
So, let me get this straight. Your compatriots down here, and you, use necrotic magic, enjoy it, and worship someone or something. Is that correct?
He looks at you and I would clap, but
clap for you. And I use my other hand and just slap him across the face.
I'm gonna whisper in Eratorum's ear, the Lich Queen.
I know.
What do you know of the assassins that came through here?
What assassins?
The ones that came through here.
You're assuming I know of an assassin?
That's all the answer I need.
Insight check.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's lying through his teeth. And you can definitely tell.
Alright, I figured. Alright. So, it's clear to me you don't know how to lie. So all you're doing is just providing me misinformation that I don't want.
Or I'm just wasting your time while your friends get killed up there.
They're not my problem.
It's at this point that I will send a message to Freddy, and I will just say, "How's it going over there? Are you good?"
Simultaneously, I'm saying, but they are mine, and I'm gonna move a little closer.
And as that happens... Come on, window, where are you? Oh, there it is.
Not where you put it.
Not where I put it. And with that, Freddy, as you begin to peek your way around the corner, you start to take a look around the chambers, and you look directly above the canister to the northeast. And on the ceiling of this canister, you find a very, 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 very large creepy crawly up there. But he's not alone. As you see a second one peek its head out from the northwest. And I need everybody to roll initiative, please.
That's a better initiative roll.
Oh, yeah, that's better than last time.
Oh, it's so much better.
Me and Freddy just keep rolling the same damn initiative.
Right?
Must be fate.
Must be.
Must
that-
be.
It's that cleric and sorcerer, like symbiosis or something going on.
Right.
Mm.
All right, so Eratorum, as you continue your interrogation with this guy holding the blade to his throat, you watch as Leisha begins to head to the north, and Freddy and Vivian are a little caught off guard by the sight up there. What are you doing?
Do I see anything up there? Like, can I
No.
see anything that's up there? All right.
You see Freddy and Vivian standing just past the doorway.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna press on him again. Because I don't fucking know anything that's going on up there yet, so I have no reason to do anything. I'm just gonna look at him again. It's gonna be like, one final question for you. I advise you answer truthfully. Did you have anything to do with the Warforged in this city?
Why would I care about the Warforged?
And with that, I'm just gonna slit his throat with the knife. Like, on his last word, I'm just gonna cut his throat.
Okay. And just like that, he dies.
All right. And then I guess I will move up closer to the people up top then.
All right. All right. So go ahead and move. Yeah, there you go. As you begin to make your way into this chamber, you look up to the northwest and you see this giant bug crawling across the ceiling of this chamber. Very unnerving, very disgusting looking, very big.
Okay. Fun. I'm guessing I don't have my action.
That is correct.
All right, cool. Are these pipes down behind me? Are they like
They're in the
on
ceiling.
floor or ceiling? Okay, cool.
Yep.
I'm going to then use the other 5 feet of my movement that I still have left to duck back around the corner.
Okay.
And then bonus action hide if I can.
Okay. So back to stealth, attempting to stay out of the line of sight of the creepy crawlies. Alicia, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna move forward 20 feet.
You as well look forward and see 2 very, very large bugs crawling across the ceiling of this chamber.
You said they're very large, right?
Yeah.
So I should be able to jab them still?
How long is your reach?
It's 5 feet.
No. They are 10 foot in size, and the ceiling is about 30 feet in the air.
Alright. Definitely couldn't do that, I'm too short. Alright, I'm just gonna move there for now, and I'm gonna ready in action for if anything comes within range. I'm just
Alrighty.
slug it.
Sure. Freddy.
Yep. Since already that assuming it's been well over a minute, so Bless would have worn off at
Sure.
this point.
Yep.
Yes.
I'm going to recast it on myself, Lucia, and Vivian.
And Vivian. Alright. So drop it off. Eratorum, put it on Vivian. Right, there you go.
And I'll use my feature. Voice of Authority to allow. Oh, it's weapon attack. I don't think either of them have ranged weapons.
Yeah.
Does Alicia? Unless your Sunsoul monk.
I have a Sunbolt. It's more of a spell than a weapon.
Yeah, it's not a weapon attack.
Yeah, it's not.
I have
You have
I have a bow.
a dagger.
dagger. You could throw
Oh,
a dagger.
If you
want
want to
to.
throw your dagger, you can go ahead. Use your reaction.
I have a bow.
Hey, look at that. Which one are you throwing it at?
I can currently only see the one in the far corner.
Okay, so let's check distance. So that is going to be a disadvantage because it's more than 20 feet. So go ahead and give me a second roll. Oof. What a difference. So as you throw it, you launch it up in the air, attempting to hit it, but it just flies a little bit short, and you watch as, just as it looks like it's on the right trajectory to be able to hit it, it just begins to fall and then just kind of clatters against the sandstone flooring over in the corner.
Cool.
Cool. All right, anything else, Freddy?
I'll move back.
Okay.
I'll move back to there and I'll do my turn.
All right. Desmond.
Right, so I'm gonna go 10 feet up there, and then I can get right there. That's my full 30 feet of movement. So I can just about see either one of them. In that case, I'm gonna go and attack this back one since I have more of a view of that. and I'll just throw another firebolt at it.
Okay. Yeah, 16's gonna hit.
Sweet. And yeah, I won't say anything. That was be my turn.
As the firebolt leaves your fingers, Freddy, you watch as it flies right across in front of your face, right up in the direction of the bug clinging to the ceiling. As it makes impact onto the outer skin, this very soft, very flexible looking skin. As it makes impact upon it, you watch as it kind of shrieks and kind of pulls back a bit, taking the full brunt of the damage before it immediately drops from the ceiling and bolts towards the eastern end of the chamber. Vivian, you're up.
All right, I'm gonna move so I can see one of them because I currently don't see anything. I will use my once per long rest ability of Burning Hands.
All right. Yeah, nice. Dex save. Yeah, that's a 7. 17 points of fire damage.
Giant bugs, not very dexterous. Who would have thought?
You'll want to be a bit closer because it is up in the air. In order for you to make impact with it, you're going to have to be much closer to it.
Like right there?
No. It's close to being 20 feet in the air, so you have to be you'd have to be almost right on it. Back
right
one
there?
would be good. Like right here is good.
All right.
Yeah. And yeah, same thing as the fire unleashes and begins to engulf this very large bug creature. It once again, just like the other one, lets out a very loud shriek before it continues crawling against the ceiling and trying to make its way to the northeast here. And you watch as it does, Vivian, you kind of catch a glimpse of it as both of these very large bugs are now kind of compressing themselves to slither between the hallway that stands to the northeast up here. But with that, we're going to end tonight's session because we are at the end of the time for our normal session here, and we will get into full combat with these things when we come back next week. Yeah.
Fun.
I would like to be able to do the entire combat of this, but it's gonna take some time. I know it's gonna take some time.
How many more creepy crawlies are there, Forge?
I mean, you've seen 2 of them.
And they're giant, so.
Oh yeah, they're pretty big. They are pretty big. So, yeah. So we will end tonight's session here and pick up with more combat first thing as soon as we get back next week, because we are coming back next week. Yay! I'm excited about that. We'll pick up combat. I will be able to prepare some more for other things, some more story. Hopefully have a little more time to do so. Yeah, I don't have anything else for tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out and playing this game with me.
It was fun.
right.
It was fun indeed.
I'm going to say bye to stream. Do the same, and we'll put an end to the stream real quick.
Bye,
Bye,
stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye.
All right, guys. So, with that, thank you so much for being here. Very much appreciate all of you. We have